John, are you on?
I'm good.
The November 7th Columbus City Council meeting will now come to order. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, Nebraska Revised Statute 84-1407, current copy of this act is on the wall in this meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bulkley,
Here.
Augustine Schulte.
Here.
Barr,
Here.
Hemer,
Here.
Jablonski,
Here.
Kreshaw,
Here.
Lohr,
Here.
Roth, Schilling,
Here.
Mayor Bulkley. The roll has been called.
Thank you. Mrs. Council President, would you please?
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all our citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. I welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. If at any time during our meeting this evening, anyone in our audience would like to address anything on our agenda, we'd ask you please come forward, give your name, your address, and we'd ask that you keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. With that, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Item 4, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of the October 17th, 2022 City Council meeting. Item 4B, resolution number R22-127, authorizing payment of various improvement projects. And item 4C, payroll and bills on file. Mr. Mayor and Council, is there anything you would like removed from consent status?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Takes us up to new business.
Item 13A, change the name of the Columbus Community Center to the Columbus Senior Center. The Senior Center Advisory Board recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move the name of Columbus Community Center be changed to Columbus Senior Center.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to change the name. Any discussion?
Any other options? I think when the name got changed, there was a feeling that it was, not everybody felt that they were seniors. That was a kind of a stigma that they were like Ron Schilling, they were old. And I wonder if we go back to that, people will not, I mean, I guess we got people coming, so it's a good thing, but I guess I was just curious if there were any other alternatives.
They pretty much wanted it that way, seniors.
They want to be seniors.
Well, when the board discussed, they went over a bunch of, they same thing, so they did a bunch of, trying to figure out a bunch of different names. And they thought the senior center, we've kind of moved past that point, and they're very comfortable with that.
Pull in the door and that's
Yep.
how you care about. Okay, all right.
All right.
I just
Yes,
think-
I'm sorry, Dennis. Go ahead.
Oh, that's right. I just think we could come up with a more prominent name for it. I mean, it's not just a senior center. I mean, we have a lot of young people going over there and everything else. I think we ought to have like a city contest and see who comes up with the best name, and maybe give them, the city could give them, whoever has the best suggestion, give them a free meal at one of our famous restaurants. That's my opinion, anyway.
Or a trip to Disney World.
Well, and I understand your interest, Councilman. I think the thing that is apparent here is the board that helps oversee this did have their input into it and came up with what they felt was the best way to move forward with multiple ideas that were discussed. And I guess with that, this is what's been put in front of us. So any other discussion?
I guess my comment, I like Mr. Creshaw's suggestion, but I think the board, as you said, the board has made their decision. But if a time comes when we need to change, if we feel that that name needs to be changed again, then that's something we could definitely have, keep in mind for a future reference if we needed to. So,
All right. Any other discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13B, appointment of Jaylene Ramirez to the library board to fill the unexpired term of Catherine Balobin.
council members, with your permission, the mayor would like to submit the name, would like to submit Jaylene Ramirez to fill the unexpired term of Catherine Balobin. This nomination was recommended by the city library director and the library board, and the candidate does reside within the city limits. Jaylene Ramirez is a fourth grade teacher at North Park Elementary School. She teaches a diverse population of students and understands the library's purpose of serving all people in our community. Jaylene, who is fluent in reading, writing, and speaking Spanish, enjoys working as a translator during parent-teacher conferences and community events. She is a fairly new resident of Columbus, having moved just over 1 year ago from Schuyler. Jaylene desires to serve on the library board in order to share her culture and to help with creating a proactive, diverse community. And gentlemen, we need a motion to ratify this appointment, please.
Move to accept the appointment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13C, quote from Platte Valley Equipment in the amount of $21,855 for a mower for the park department.
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead.
thank you. Mr. Mayor, I move that the quote from Platte Valley Equipment for a mower be accepted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the quote from Platte Valley Equipment for this mower. Any discussion?
I'm just gonna ask, we have quite a few items on the agenda tonight to approve for purchases, and I am presuming all of this is in the budget, and as you stated last time, we need to have it presented early.
Yes.
For the sake
Yes,
of-
everything on the agenda tonight, there's lots of purchases, and they're all coming in early in the fiscal year because I've asked and encouraged department heads to get their CIP items, like purchases such as these, done as soon as possible, because all we keep hearing about is that there's gonna be more and more price
Increase.
escalations over the next few months.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, every one of these items, for the public's knowledge, was supported with homework that showed multiple bids and multiple information on why the decision we made was relevant to us, thinking it was a good decision. And then, as council and the city administrator has indicated, the inflationary times we are in right now and how it appears to continue, anything we can purchase up front, and especially while staying within budget on things that we believe we need, only makes sense. So this is very prudent, and kudos to staff and everyone for doing it, I think. So with that, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Motion passes.
Item 13D, quote from Sid Dillon in the amount of $52,615 for a pickup for the fire department.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the quote from Sid Dillon for a pickup be accepted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the quote from Sid Dillon for the pickup for the fire department. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask the chief a question if I could.
Yes, sir.
No trade-in on this vehicle?
No, sir. We have an old police department Ford Explorer that was given to us some years ago. We're going to move that out, sell it at the next city auction, and keep the newer one for our personnel to use.
And red hot was your choice of color?
Red, yes. And this vehicle, like in my memo, is in stock. I have driven it. It's secured for us, so
Yeah.
it was a good find.
Yeah. Very good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have another question before you go, Chief. Yes, sir. In the write-up on this, it said that the color is red hot,
Yes.
but in the picture, it's pink.
Is it pink?
It's pink.
I'm going to blame that on the printer.
Okay. I'd rather see you drive a red hot.
Yes, sir. Understood.
All right, any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay.
It does look a little pink, doesn't it?
Motion passes.
Item 13E, quotes from Jones Automotive Wholesale Public Safety and Toys for Trucks in the combined amount of $34,974.40 for fire command vehicle outfitting for the fire department.
Mr. Mayor, I move the quotes from Jones Automotive, Wholesale Public Safety, and Toys for Trucks for Fire Command Vehicle outfitting be accepted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept this quote. I would say that anyone that doesn't read into it might look at
Yeah.
public safety and toys
I would
for
like to have-
trucks. The public might say, what toys are we buying?
So the toys for trucks specifically is the camper shell that's going to go on the back. There's going to be a large command cabinet, 100% pull out for storage. Personnel safety accountability radios will be back there. So it's going to be a really good asset for the city. It's something that has never been done here.
This motion and the next motion are very similar, or part of that.
No, this goes with the pickup.
Oh, okay, got you.
The last one and this one are kind of together. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct.
Yep.
Okay, everything that you need, okay, what's going in there now? Where has it been?
So currently we have 2 SUVs and our stuff is just loaded in the back of it. It doesn't allow for a great command setup. So when we set up command, having the multiple radios, having a large board, whether you're drawing incident diagrams, you're keeping track of personnel, additional resources, it provides that area to do that. Right now we're sitting in the front seat. In my vehicle specifically, I have 1 radio, a couple portables, and I'm using a notepad. So it's just something that has never been done here that needs to be done as we progress. We're making a lot of good changes, and in order to keep up with those changes, we have to have the stuff to do that. So we started an accountability system where every person's going to have a tag, so we know exactly where they are, where they're assigned, who they're with, and we have to build up the system from there. So this is part of that build up, and it should last us quite a long time.
Very good, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions for Chief? All right. We have a motion and a second to accept the quote from Jones Automotive. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13F, quote from Municipal Emergency Services in the amount of $20,730 for turnout gear for the fire station. Fire department.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the quote from Municipal Emergency Services for turnout gear be accepted.
Second?
Motion and a second to accept the quote from Municipal Emergency Services for turnout gear. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13G, quote from Danco Emergency Equipment in the amount of $21,396 for thermal imaging cameras for the fire department.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the quote from Danco Emergency Equipment for thermal imaging cameras be accepted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the quote from Danco Emergency Equipment. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay.
Item 13H, quote from Gene Steffi Auto Group in the amount of $16,759 for a vehicle for the police department.
Mr. Mayor, move to accept the Gene Steffi Group. The Gene Steffi bid.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept, I think, the Gene Steffi Auto Group.
Yeah, something like that.
Any discussion?
I got all choked up over that one.
Any discussion? Yes, sir.
I would ask the chief a question if it's possible.
Yes, sir.
This is not frontline command vehicles?
No, this is not.
Okay.
Chuck Shear, Police Chief. Every year, we rotate out a support vehicle and three line vehicles. We will come before you again in the future for the line vehicles, but this is an admin vehicle. It's to replace one of the investigators' vehicles.
Okay.
And we look at all the lots in town, and we look at vehicles that we think are gonna be commensurate with a non-police department look.
Yeah.
So that they kind of, it blends into the community. And so one of our investigators will be getting this, and we're trading off one of their units to get this.
Very good. Thank you, chief.
Yep. Any other questions?
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Chief. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13I, quote from Wilkin Industries Incorporated in the amount of $245,840 for 2 tandem axle trailers for the transfer station.
Mr. Mayor, I move the quote from Wilkins Industries Incorporated for 2 trailers be accepted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the quote from Wilkins Industries. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13J, plans, specifications, and estimate of base bid cost in the amount of $2,339,704.50. Alternate bid number 1 in the amount of $1,900,529.50. And alternate bid number 2 in the amount of $739,473.75. And authorization to advertise for bids for the Lost Creek Parkway Water Main Extension, the Lost Creek Parkway from west of Wilderness Road to US Highway 81 and US Highway 81 from Lost Creek Parkway to 63rd Avenue. The plans and specifications are on file in the engineering department.
Move that the plan specifications, estimates of base bid, alternate bids number 1 and 2, and authorization to advertise for bids for the Lost Creek Parkway Water Main Extension be approved.
Second.
And a second to accept the plans and specifications for alternate bid number 1, alternate bid number 2 for the Lost Creek Parkway Water Main Extension. Any discussion? This is just to get the thing out for bids and then to keep things moving along, right? Yep. Okay. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13K, comments from the mayor and city council members. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, no discussion may be held on this item.
Any comments from council members this evening? Councilman Schilling.
Yeah, the Vertical Voices, which is a community choir, they're in the process of practicing for our cantata, which will be performed on December 11th, 2 o'clock at the high school. As of right now, we have about 60 voices that are participating. We're anticipating maybe some more that are coming up. We just had our second practice last Sunday, and it's been going very well. It's under the direction of Mr. Fred Ritter, which is really a good program. And he has kind of rewritten some of the music, and it's been fun.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I'm sure the mayor will have something to say too, but I hope everybody gets out tomorrow and votes. I know we're all getting tired of political ads, but we need to get out there and vote. So please get out there and vote.
Absolutely, and I just wanted to let the public know, last Friday evening, we had an event that honored our employees and our staff and all those that serve the community in different committees and help run this community. It was an employee recognition evening that was extremely successful. It's our opportunity to say thank you to those who help run the city, not just the employees, but even those that serve as volunteers and in many other ways. And we recognize those who have retired. We recognize those for years of service. And then we just try to have some fun and say thank you. So it was a good evening, and it's a pleasure to honor the staff for all they do and the employees. All right, we move on to resolutions.
Item 14A, resolution number R22-128, approving the amendment to the International Association of Firefighters Local Number 1575 Collective Bargaining Agreement 2019 through 2023. Excuse me.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution R22-128.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R22-128. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14B, resolution number R22-129, approving the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program for the Columbus Municipal Airport for FAA fiscal years 2022, 2023, and 2024.
Okay. It was not on my desk. I didn't realize it was me until I looked at it. Okay. I move for the resolution, adoption of resolution number R22-129.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution R22-129. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14C, resolution number R22-131, approving the agreement with school district number 1 for use of the aquatic center.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number R22-131 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R22-131. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14D, resolution number there's the R is missing on your agenda item. R22-132. It's okay. I was like, accepting quotes from Eeks Office Solutions, All Makes Office Equipment, AOI Corporation, Library Furniture International, Midwest Storage Solutions, and Encompass in the combined amount of $1,681,568.33 plus freight and installation for furniture, fixtures, and equipment for the community building project.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution R22-132.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution R22-132. Any discussion? I would start by saying all of this is within budget and all part of the project that has been approved and is part of the main package. Is that right? Yes.
Is this all 3 floors?
Yes, every
Excellent.
square foot of the building. Other than the Children's Museum, that's not our
No,
responsibility.
correct. And
And the coffee shop.
And
coffee
the
shop.
coffee shop, not our responsibility.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
I'm not opposed to this in any way, shape, or form, but I was curious as to whether Nebraska Industries was involved.
We researched Nebraska Industries, but they weren't really providing what we were looking for, honestly. Yeah. And the timing of it all and the quoting, the way that we quoted it, they don't typically do things this way. Where we had to really, because it's the magnitude of this project, I mean, this is 80,000 square feet of space and a wide variety of furniture and equipment. We had to pull and plug things where they were appropriate with different vendors, and that's not typically how they work.
I'm just curious, for those of you who do not know, Nebraska Industries is a corporation, I think, is at the state prison. And they use prisoners to manufacture these furniture primarily for industrial and purposes. The city has bought some things from Nebraska Inc. before in the old library, but I was just kind of curious as to why they weren't in the mix, and that makes all the sense in the world. Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 14E, resolution number R22-133, approving change order number 1 with BD Construction Incorporated in the amount of $110,278.38 for the Charlie Lewis Fire Station addition and renovation project.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of resolution number R22-133.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R22-133. Any discussion? I'll start just with a simple question. I know it was written into there, but I was just surprised the sprinkler suspension or suppression system wasn't included up front.
Well, part of it was. So, as you know, we're doing living quarter additions, and that was sprinkled, and that was in that main first dollar. Because of it was an addition to an existing building, we didn't believe that we needed to do any fire suppression for the rest of the building. And that's how the architect also saw it. So we submitted to state fire marshal. State fire marshal came back and said, because you're doing additions on both sides, and because it's a public safety facility, that they wanted the whole building to be done. We did go, and staff did go and spend a lot of time in talking to them, and just to make sure we couldn't find other ways around it, like firewalls and or different types of systems. But at the end of the day, they decided that it all needed to be done, and that's why this change order is here.
Awesome. Thank you for the explanation. Appreciate it. Any other discussion? Yes, sir.
I don't know if anybody's drove by the Charlie Lewis station lately, but it seems to be moving along pretty good, so.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Excited to see it, see them get back in business out there.
Very good. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned. It's amazing. We have meetings where we spend millions of